anything, and he's having a ball doing it.
There's a clue in the oddly decorated pickup truck that's often seen in the vicinity, but the mystery is only solved when you approach the door to this inconspicuous business in the Minneapolis warehouse district.
Welcome to the House of Balls.
50-year-old professional electrician Alan Christian is the eccentric genius who's created this workshop, come studio, come gallery in this two-story compendium of confusion. First-time visitors like us are simply overwhelmed by the visual overload of color, lights, and profusion of some of the oddest and most imaginative art ever put together under one roof. Our reaction is exactly what Alan Christian hopes for.
Wanting them to come in and say, I've never seen anything like this before.
It's called the House of Balls because what's unique about this artist is that he specializes in carving incredible sculptures out of ordinary bowling balls.
You're forced to look at them in a different way. You recognize it for what it was, but you can also see what it's become.
One of his most compelling pieces reveals the brilliant colors actually built into a ball. It's all there. He's added no paint.
To me, it's the mystery of going in and discovering it. It's like every day is a Christmas present.
Everything is for sale. Nothing has a price on it. The value is in the eye of the beholder and the creator. Like this recent work that had its origins in a piece of junk that just sort of arrived here.
This is a Helene Curtis hairdryer that somebody had left at the front door.
The old machine still produces hot air, so Alan calls the sculpture My Name is W. Everything in this cluttered building is recycled junk, from this odd machine called a home pony to the steel tubes that form W's legs. Alan Christian is a man on a mission. He wants his unorthodox art to bring people together and enhance the global image of the United States.
A country that the world really looks up to. Do it through bowling balls.
If you'd like more information about any of the stories you've seen tonight, just go to our website at kstp.com, scroll down, and look for On the Road. Artists are, by definition, interesting people, but many of them are more likely to call themselves hobbyists, like a wonderful woman we met years ago working away quietly in her house way up north. Over the years, 81-year-old Betty Abley has ripped up hundreds of copies of the International Falls Daily Journal. The strips of newsprint are carefully combined with wire, aluminum foil, and lots of wheat paste.
I don't know what this one's going to look like. I got to use my imagination. Can't wait to see what they're going to turn into.
But a tour of Betty's home answers a lot of questions.
Imagination.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, a lot of it. Now that's an imagination, that face.
Betty is so creative, she's developed this art with little formal training. When she decided to try it 20 years ago, there were no classes available.
I went to the library. I got all the information there, and by experience, this is the way I ended up.
Betty says she makes many replicas of people who are clowns, but she really enjoys just seeing how each one comes out.
Because I like clowns, I guess. I think they're colorful and they're funny. And you can make anything you want. It keeps you busy, so you aren't bored.
Whether they're made of paper or steel, the unique objects these talented Minnesotans create somehow make our lives brighter and more interesting. And we look forward to meeting many more of them as we go on the road. I'm Jason Davis. Drive carefully, and we'll see you next week. begin tonight with the wackiest artist we've seen on the road. A guy who believes that by combining gravity and a few simple household items, he can create great art in motion. We traveled all the way to Las Vegas to see Tim Fort and his bits and pieces in action.
It's the land of make-believe, magic, illusion, and sleight of hand. You name it, and they've got it, here in the capital of conjuring up the extraordinary, Las Vegas. But even so, visitors to a convention at the spectacular Mandalay Bay Hotel are puzzled and intrigued by the strange antics of a young guy from St. Paul.
I can't be normal. Normal is boring. It's just a setting on a washing machine.
Tim Fort is a self-styled kinetic artist, a creator of large contraptions that include something called stick bombs that spectacularly self-destruct. Exhibitors 2008, a trade show for people who do trade shows, is owned and operated by Lee Knight from Rochester, Minnesota. He saw this video on Tim Fort's website, so he hired him to set up his wacky devices in the convention registration area.
I love just watching it being built, and kinetic art is fun anyway because it's always this constant movement and energy.
43-year-old Tim Fort graduated with a degree in aerospace engineering at the University of Minnesota. He says he really is a rocket scientist.
I think nerds are cool. You know, they do all the interesting stuff.
Tim creates weird and wonderful art in motion in his loft apartment in St. Paul, like this custom piece that he built just for us.
I'm a weirdo with strange interests, I guess.
In fact, Tim's interest is so strange that he claims to be the world's leading practitioner of kinetic art.
The multi-cell bombs, you know, the continuous ones that just go on and on, those are pretty much my invention. It's such a basic concept, almost as basic as domino tumbling, but no one else has thought of it.
Well, no one has thought of it on such a grand scale. Tim spends many hours carefully assembling a chain of objects that include hundreds of popsicle sticks, beads, wooden rulers, plastic cups and tubes, tongue depressors, and even tinker toys. This is not an exciting part of the production to watch. Everything is linked, and the only thing holding it all together is that they're all connected. One false move, and the whole thing could go off prematurely.
All it takes is a bomb, or, you know, some prankster, you know, flinging a piece of paper, or a cockroach, or a gust of wind.
It's taken more than half a day to put together, and as performance time gets closer, the crowd begins to gather to watch this collection of inanimate objects come to life.
Oh, man. I always get nervous before one of these.
For Tim Fort, this is the toughest moment of all.
Oh man, it feels so good.
By now, the word has got around the convention and a bigger crowd showed up for the next countdown.
We're gonna knock them all down. Everybody gather around.
Double. Does that count as a success or as a fizzle?
I don't know, what do you think?
I'd count it as a success.
Another effort billed as a detonation of kiloton depressor xylo-explosive device promises to be a little different.
Yeah, it's still very experimental, and we're still learning all the different things that can go wrong.
3, 2, 1.
Wow!
Good job. Wonderful.
Oh, man.
People make art out of the simplest things. Newspaper, small pieces of wood, and beer cans.
Well, I tell you, you can't beat it.
Meet the guy who's plainly obsessed coming up. He's not afraid to make a big deal out of ordinary things. We'll show you what this eclectic sculptor is creating now.
You're famous as a metal guy.
But the early years I worked all wood.
And see why one woman likes to tear up her newspaper every day.